Alrighty, we are live and waiting on DJ TRIGGS, and we should be pretty much good to go. But thank you everyone for joining us. I'm STEVE M3TR1CS of No DB8 SPORTS. This is our new podcast schedule, and you're going to see us on 7 o'clock on Monday nights and 7 o'clock on Tuesday nights. So we're just waiting on DJ TRIGGS, and we are going to be all good to go. I think his screen froze, but anyways, we're gonna get the ball rolling for now. So a lot of stuff happened over the weekend. We had some NFL things happen today, this afternoon. Had the NFL running back franchise tags expire for all three running backs. So for Tony Pollard, Saquon Barkley, and Josh Jacobs, all of them were franchise tagged by their teams for just over $10 million each for a fully guaranteed contract for the entire season. And all three of them declined. I think Tony Pollard's probably an interesting one of that bunch for not signing, considering he broke his leg about 6 months ago, and there he is. Whoops.
There.
All right. There you are, TRIGGS. I added you, and then I removed you, and then I added you again. So there you are.
Much appreciated. Man, like literally my entire screen
is my mic working?
And shut everything down.
Actually, hold up. Let me... Actually, you know what? I think I'm having trouble with audio. Let me see what I can get here. Okay. Wait. Okay. All right. You there, TRIGGS?
Yo. Can you hear me?
Trying again, TRIGGS. I'm getting there, man.
Can you hear me?
I still can't hear anything.
Yo.
Let me play around with these settings a little more. All right, here we go. Okay, we got that.
Can you hear me?
TRIGGS, real quick. I'm gonna go grab some headphones. I think that is what's holding me up here.
Can you hear me now?
See if I can bounce this over to you for a hot minute. Nope. Actually, okay, let's try this again. There we go. All right, TRIGGS, kill some time. I will be right back.
Kill some time. Oh man, look, I have a microphone in my hand. I can definitely kill some time. Well, I was excited to talk about the WNBA All-Star game, but I have no idea what he was talking about, so we're just gonna wing it. Tilt a little bit. Boom. Camera chilling. Yeah, I mean, got the Spurs shirt on. Summer League is basically over. Man, we got so much fun stuff to talk about. And then, of course, M3TR1CS has to break his sound. I don't know. Getting headphones? What's going on here? But yeah, I mean, we have NFL stuff, NBA stuff, WNBA stuff. I don't know. We could throw baseball in there. I don't think we talk baseball, but yeah, there's a lot of fun stuff going on there. I mean, out of all the teams in baseball, the Brewers just won 5 out of 6 over the Reds, so that's pretty cool. No one really thought they were going to do that.
Alrighty, TRIGGS, I think I'm back online.
Oh, man. Can you hear me?
Oh,
I can hear you.
Almost.
Almost. Oh, man. All the fun stuff. What if I tilt her down a little bit more? Oh, there's my microphone. Boom.
All right. Are you there, Triggs?
I am definitely still here.
No.
Are you here?
Almost. Oh, here we go. All right. Now I think I'm in. Am I
Are
in?
you?
Oh, man.
What's
It's been a
going
tough
on
one today.
Uh-oh.
All right. Let's try this again. Okay. I'm in. Almost there.
You're cracking me up over there. I'm actually just going to go up to our live and see what's happening.
All right.
I can hear you on
Now,
live.
am I in or am I not?
Almost there.
Huh. Am I coming through on your side, Triggs?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Let me play around with some other things real quick. All right. See what I can do here.
So, like, the people can hear you, if that makes sense. Oh, man. Can I actually go into our comments and, like, comment on stuff? Because I don't see the bar. What is going on here? Oh, picture in picture. Let's go. Just learning things on the fly. Can you really still not hear me? Oh, man.
Okay. Here we go. All right. Still not hearing anything.
Well, that's weird. Do you want us to restart the stream? Oh, wait, you can't hear me. Maybe I should text you.
All right. What is going on here? Okay.
Interesting. Very
interesting. All right. Let me try one other trick. I'll be right back.
He's talking to us as if he knows that we can hear him. I don't know. But yeah, who knows what's going on with metrics over there? Oh, all my lights just kicked on at one time. So now I'm live and in living color. But yeah, so, I mean, I don't want to get on too many topics because, you know, metrics is, he's got some input on most of the things that we talk about. I mean, all right. What about LeBron James going back to the number 23? I mean, he's got 2 rings as number 6 and 2 rings as 23. So it's kind of hit or miss about that. Definitely has like 13 All-Star appearances as 23, 6 with 6 with the smaller number. He's saying he's doing it for Bill Russell, you know, all-time great, but he's probably just doing it for ticket sales and, you know, people buying new jerseys. Yeah, I don't know. Very strange person LeBron can be. But Who knows? It's not like he'll win another ring with that number, but whatever. Definitely has more seasons under that number. What does AD do? I don't know. Yeah, that's the most exciting part of the day right there. Talking about LeBron James. Oh, good times. How come I'm seeing comments, but I
Hey,
can't?
Triggs, are you there? I think I'm hearing something now.
I'm here. I'm definitely here.
Is it coming through? All right,
Yep.
I'm hearing myself, but I'm not
Yeah.
hearing you.
Weird.
Um,
I'm
let
definitely
me see
live.
what I got here.
Yo. Hello.
All right, I got you here. I'm hearing myself, but I'm not hearing you.
Weird.
Huh. Let me keep playing around with some stuff.
There I am again. Hey, how do we get to the chat? Because I see people talking in the chat, but like I don't know if I can actually touch it. You can hear us both. Of course you can. That is clever of you. Are you watching this on YouTube? You are. Huh. Well, that's new. I think I lost metrics again. This is a great way to start the stream. We're just like, we're breaking everything. So I don't know if you guys seen my my fancy new house back here, but I had to keep us entertained, right? LeBron will not get traded before the season starts. I can probably guarantee that. There's whose house is that? That is the people that work for us with all of our numbers and whatnot. That's their house. I can pop in every once in a while, you know. I'm locked away in a basement. That's where I am. Miss Haley, do you have any other questions besides the house? I think I lost metrics for real this time. I guess it just goes like that. I think workers should be compensated with snacks. What kind of snacks are you talking? I mean, I'm a big snack guy. I like Reese's cups. Is that a candy bar? But they're snacks because they're not really a bar. They're like circle cup things. I don't know. Snacks are pretty good. I mean, I like Warheads. Warheads are a candy. Does that count as a snack? Does anything count as a snack? I mean, like French fries could be a snack, couldn't they? Um, it's candy cups. That's a new one. I don't even know what that means. Candy cups. Is that where like you take a cup and you just like put like Whoppers and Skittles and stuff in it, like Froyo, but without the frozen yogurt? This is entertaining me reading about snacks. What's your favorite snack for the people that are watching? If LeBron was a candy bar, what would he be? Did somebody put you up to that to to type that in? What kind of candy bar would LeBron be? He would be like a whatchamacallit. That's what I'm gonna call him. A whatchamacallit. Because of course he's not the GOAT. So he can't be like a Babe Ruth or um, Carmelo. Oh, those are delicious. But he's already got a friend named Carmelo, so I wouldn't. Why? Why would he be a whatchamacallit? Because I don't have anything nice to say about LeBron right now. So he's got to be the candy bar with no name. I mean, he could be a Three Musketeers. Let's go with that because he always needs two other superstars to win a championship. How about that? That's perfect. I just made that up on the spot. Boom. Then he should be a Mounds. Why a Mounds? Because Mounds are delicious. That's all I know. No one likes Mounds bars. Wow. Okay, I like Mounds bars. I mean, I like Almond Joys better than Mounds bars, but they're the same thing with just almonds on top. And one's wrapped in red and one's wrapped in blue, so I don't know. I wonder what kind of candy bar Metrics likes. We'll ask him when he comes back. Just gonna make sure I check my phone just to see if he sent me any messages, just in case I lose him. What's that? What is what? An Almond Joy? It's the same thing as a Mounds bar. They're literally the same company. You're confusing me now with your questions. Or what's something in the background? There's a lot of things back there. I don't know. We are going to talk about the WNBA. I'm just waiting for Metrics. Still no Metrics. We've lost him for good. Let's go. Mounds and Almond Joys are your favorite. That is a wait. Are you messing with me, or are they literally your favorite? I don't think I've ever seen you eat one, but I don't watch you eat a lot of things, so that kind of makes sense. I don't watch people eat things. But yeah, the WNBA was on fire. I mean, they had their draft for their All-Star game. Very exciting with Asia Wilson and Brianna Stewart. They had their skills and three-point challenge. Obviously, they didn't have a dunk contest, but anyways, Brianna Stewart did dunk, by the way. Hey, it's Metrics. He's on mute though. I don't know if he knows that. We lost him again, I think. Team Wilson, absolutely. Even though they lost, but they kind of got blown out. I think they lost by like 20. 16, I think. I'm going to look that up really quick. I'm like 99% sure they lost by 16. I swear we had Metrics. He popped up for a second and then he was gone. Boom. Don't know what's going on there anymore. Yeah. Team Stewie all the way. 16-point win, 143 to 127. Which is kind of weird because Brianna Stewart didn't really do much. But like Kelsey Plum had 30 off the bench. But Jewel Lloyd put up 31 and broke the record. So that was pretty dope. Like Brandon Stewart only had 9, 9, and 6. NECA Gumake had 6 and 11. Brandon Stewart 18 points and 13 rebounds plus the dunk, couple of blocks. She was the only person to record a block in the game, which was kind of nuts. Sabrina Ionescu, the 3-point goddess, put up 18, 8, and 6. Like, she was on fire. Oh my gosh, people need to know what the belt buckle is. This is insane. What are we supposed to do without the belt buckle? I mean, we could just get back into the WNBA. Oh, it was kind of like Asia Wilson was the only one balling on her team, especially of the starters. Like Elena Deladon didn't get to play, which because she was hurt. But then you had Candace Parker balling. She's putting up some points off the bench, hitting threes. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like everyone just wanted to see 4-point plays from Sabrina, just because she can shoot from like half court with her eyes closed. Yeah, it was nuts. Especially at 3-point contest. I think she put up 37. Only missed 2 shots. Missed like the first one and then hit like 20 in a row or some ridiculous number. Which if you don't know Sabrina, I mean, she goes way back with Kobe. Really cool with Kobe's family. Works out with. Are you recording this with Andrew? No, I'm recording this with my webcam. Are you you? I know, iPhone all the way, right? Not on this team. If it was an all-star game, I would be Team Android. And we would win like Team Stewie did by 16 over Team iPhone. You guys would probably have like LeBron or somebody on your team, or like Kevin Durant with 17 burner accounts. I don't know. I think I've literally lost metrics for like life. I don't know what happened. I know he's got some things that he really wants to get into, so like I don't want to steal his shine and go right to the heat if you understand wrestling lingo there. But yeah, I mean like I was saying though, Sabrina, she's a she's a baller. Like I said, she works out with Stephen Curry, uh the chef himself. Uh they're thinking about having a 3-point contest amongst themselves. But if you know anything, Curry's not a very good shooter under those spotlights, those 3-point spotlights, uh, especially in like contests like that. So she might get him, especially since no one's ever done what she did uh, at the WNBA All Star break. Like insane. If you haven't seen it, go watch the 5 minutes or whatever it is on like YouTube. Like this lady just can shoot the lights out. It's pretty insane. Um, like I said, even in the All-Star game, she was shooting 4-point plays, which are like little circles at half court or near half court. So very, very nuts. Very nuts. They want to know what his belt buckle is. That blows my mind. Oh man. I had a yawn there. I can't believe that. What is going on today? He's not answering any messages, so I'm not sure what's going on here. Just so you know, I have a cat, and my cat is trying to get all up on me. It's kind of weird. I'm telling him we might want to restart the stream. But he has answered a message, so that's a positive. Shelter in? What does that even mean? Shelter in. I don't know what that means. Is that like slang for life? I have no idea. Why? What? Some of these comments don't make any sense to me. I'm not gonna lie to you. YouTube is weird. So he says he's trying to get in another way. Again, not trying to steal all the fun glory to myself. There he is. He's on mute.
Okay. All right. We're here. We're here.
Yo.
Now we gotta change. All I gotta do is get it so we're both on screen, and I think I got this.
Oh, there we go.
I think I got this. Uh-oh. Oh, I think I made it, Triggs.
Yo.
Are you there?
I am.
Oh my goodness. It only took me a half hour.
Yes.
Holy smokes. Yes. I think I found I had a setting. Somewhere I had my speakers set to mute. Yeah.
That's funny.
Because I tried incognito mode in Chrome, between that browser, the current browser, talking to this guy, support at Yardstream. I definitely appreciate it. But man, it was tough and all that. And I went into settings many times, but then when I saw at the very bottom I was muted, bam, I did it to myself. So, yep.
That's
exactly.
Funny.
Exactly.
That's
so
funny.
just a wild round of finding how to get in, but I got here. So
well,
we're all good.
Boom. We were talking WNBA and candy bars. What's your favorite candy bar?
Okay. I would say lately my favorite candy bar by far, especially for making s'mores, and if you want to kind of like elevate it a little bit, go with a Hershey's Symphony. That is straight fire. If you go Hershey's Symphony, it is just really good. Almond, got a little bit of toffee in there. The trick that I do is if you're kind of having that alongside, like maybe you're grilling out or you're having dinner, take the Hershey's Symphony and right as you're kind of like starting dinner, take that and throw it into the freezer. So you get a little more crunch. You get that hot on cold action on your s'more, and straight up Hershey's Symphony. That is my go-to.
I have no idea what a Hershey's Symphony sympathy.
Yeah, symphony, like an orchestra.
Yeah.
So if you're
violin,
yeah, exactly. So if you're at like a supermarket, you'll see all the candy bars, and in the Hershey section, you see the normal Hershey candy bars, but then you'll see a few that look kind of fancy and kind of have like cream colored, almost like gold trim on the candy wrapper. And that is your Hershey's Symphony.
Wow.
Yeah. So what's your go-to favorite candy bar?
Reese's. But then I was told that they're not candy. They're like some sort of they're candy cups or something. We were talking about
Okay.
snacks, and then
Okay.
somehow got into candy, and then the WNBA. But
There you go.
there is a question for you. We are all
Okay.
wondering
Okay.
what your belt buckle is.
Ah, yes. All right, this will be a hard one because I'm using my fancy microphone camera machine to do this, so it's kind of tricky. So we'll kind of use the power of magic and show it is Muppets. So we went the whole Muppet crowd today,
Nice.
especially with my team being Dr. T and the Electric Mayhem. Yeah, we definitely went Muppets. So yeah, and as we get this affiliated marketing stuff figured out, boom, we are definitely going to hook up with Buckle Down and try to make some cachet with it. So yeah, you there, Triggs? I think your camera froze up. Oh, okay, there you are.
So
cool.
I was at it. Oh, see, so I clicked over so I could type something. But they are very happy about your belt buckle down there. But I was actually at a get together a couple weeks ago, and I asked people about the Electric Tea, and most of them knew who it was, and I was like, "Good for you, good for you."
Wow, that's good stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna close this back window because it's making too much noise.
Okay.
But yeah, did you happen to watch the WNBA All-Star game?
I caught Sabrina Ionescu shooting threes lights out in the 3-point contest. That's what I caught. Yeah.
Pretty
so
nuts.
I was watching that. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Plus I did a little research. I actually saw she has her own shield coming out, I want to say next month at the end of August. It's going to be both for men and women. It's awesome. Really cool looking shoe line. It's almost like, I mean, Kobe Bryant's had that black look. Hers are almost a white aesthetic, but the way it looks is like it's almost got like this 3D printed logo on it. It's really sharp, really sharp. She has an excellent looking shoe. It's not like a LeBron James space moon boot. Hers is like really slick and kind of has that exactly. It's got like that Kobe Bryant. Even Kyrie Irving's shoe line was pretty solid. So yeah, it's got a real slick look to it. So it's something to be on the lookout for. And I think it's dropping for about $150. And that being her first shoe, and if it's the start of her career, like that could be worth something someday. So it'd be worth getting a pair and just stashing it, you know?
Especially after this 3-point contest, like she's gonna light up.
Yes, absolutely. And I mean, I saw her play a few times at Oregon, and she was pretty awesome. But it just felt like ever since she got to the Liberty up until now, that it's just been so quiet. And granted, the Liberty have not been a good team, and being the caliber of a player that she is, you go to a team that's not very good. But man, she's lighting it up. I really like what we see out of her.
Yeah, I mean, like I've known about her since like Kobe Bryant kind of put her on the map, and she was working out with him. And I was telling everybody that she was like good friends with his daughters and stuff like that. And even during the 3-point shootout, or was it during the 3-point shootout or the All-Star game? Either one or the other, she like went over and seen like Kobe Bryant's like wife and everything. So that was kind of cool.
Oh wow. Nice.
And then you were talking about the Liberty. Cool. Dude, they got Breanna Stewart. Yeah. Like they're gonna be good at some point.
Okay. Yeah. They'll definitely be good. I mean, I know right now Connecticut is kind of that power of the East, and I know that Connecticut's like top player got hurt recently, so that might give a little bit opening for New York to come in and do something. But yeah, just it's pretty cool seeing her doing really well right now. So I'm glad that's going on. But yeah, me being a Raider and the owner of my football team owns the Las Vegas Aces, I am definitely going to be biased towards the Las Vegas Aces.
Oh, I mean, they're like a superstar all-star team though. Like they're almost
They are.
unfair.
Yep.
Asia Wilson's like
It
loaded
is.
MVP,
Yep.
defensive player of the year, all-star captain.
Yep.
Like she's nuts.
She is absolutely. She's top notch, and I've always enjoyed seeing Candace Parker play wherever she's been, and winning that championship with Chicago, and now joining Vegas. You're right;
Yeah.
it literally feels like an all-star team. Plus, the Asia Wilson's all-star team roster was built primarily with Las Vegas Aces players. Of her, Kelsey Plum.
Chelsea Gray.
Her name. Is it like Sasha Chelsea Gray? Yep. Like
Chelsea
that team
Gray.
was loaded. Exactly. So even though they didn't get the W, still a really cool looking team, and I like the path the WNBA is going, and I know there's some push for expansion, and I know some of the players, and Kelsey Plum being one of them, now that she's the vice president, is somewhat hesitant about it. But I think what they're going to have to do is I think the WNBA is going to have to start adapting the model that Major League Soccer took. So in the early 2000s, MLS was kind of doing okay, and then they really kind of hit a brick in the wall, and then they just kind of like stopped. They almost felt like, I think they might have lost a few teams. But then in like the mid 2000s, I want to say around 2010, MLS just really started to take off, and it was like every single year there were at least 2 expansion teams joining that league, and now I think MLS is on like 30. And considering of women's basketball and women's pro sports, and even women's college sports in general is really starting to take this boom, that's the method that I see WNBA really taking. And at the end of the day, I mean, it's just going to help everyone. And plus, like, you have owners, or you have billionaires out there who want to get into professional sports of any kind. So having the ability to join the WNBA, I would think, is incredibly powerful. You're going to get good ownership, and you're going to get quality teams, and you're going to get more cities. And it's going to grow. I mean, even the NBA is about to incur expansion next few seasons between Seattle and Vegas. So I would love to see the WNBA go from, I think they're at about 10 teams. It would be awesome to see them rise to 20 and make their way towards 30. They absolutely deserve that opportunity for sure.
I mean, D Wade just bought into the Sky, so yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
yep.
If guys like him are buying in, then I'm sure he could probably find a bunch of other players that want to buy teams.
Exactly. And I think Mark Cuban owns the Dallas Wings as well, in addition to the Mavericks. So. Yeah. Plus, I mean, there's the commercial that he's in with his star player as well. So yeah, it's definitely a kind of business that people really want to get into. And some of the pro sports, I mean, it's definitely going to be tough making money, but man, I think WNBA, like NFL, MLB, all the other really big time major sports in America, I think WNBA is just going to be a pure money making. Seeing how they knocked it out of the park in Vegas, they're going to go to Arizona and Phoenix next year for their All-Star game. But man, like they know that Vegas knows how to put on a show, and then use the template moving forward of all WNBA All-Star games. So I think there's really cool growth coming in the future for the WNBA. And even the college game is real solid lately. I mean, I watched college games, March Madness this year and last year, and it's been really, really good play. And I think the glory days of having the Connecticut just dominate. Yep. Yeah. And Caitlin Clark. And the Caitlin Clark situation is very interesting because I mean, obviously in the men's game, you can go one and done, and boom, you're in. And Caitlin Clark has the ability. I don't know how that works with the women's game per se, but Caitlin Clark is clearly at the level of professional WNBA players. The thing that is keeping her in college is either the fact that she has to play X amount of years, but even if that weren't the case, it's the finances that are such a driving force for her remaining with Iowa. What she's getting from NIL, what she's getting from local sponsors, all that money, she's more than likely making more money in college than if she were to be a professional basketball player. And that is going to have to change. Yeah, it's.
I mean, I've had this battle before. The WNBA can't like support high contracts because they can't fill stadiums, and that's kind of the problem. Like,
Correct.
As much as I like the WNBA, like they just can't fill a stadium, and most people don't even know when they're on TV.
True, absolutely, and that's going to be a big challenge. But I think that is a challenge that they can definitely take on, and I think that's probably where that concern probably is shared with Kelsey Plum. You really got to figure out how are we going to fill the arenas and bring in that revenue, because yes, like TV deals, that brings in a lot of money, but you can't just take for granted how much money you make from an arena. I mean, think of Major League Baseball and how much money they make just off of parking for the 81 games that every team plays at home. So you're spot on that teams have to figure out how to make money in their own stadiums really before they start expanding, and you have more stadiums where it's harder to fill the seats. You really got to figure out how to fill your seats and just drive up advertisers and really figure out some kind of streaming partner. I think that would be probably their strongest ability, instead of having to sell some games to ESPN, some games to Ion, some games to NBA Network. I think they need to really find someone who comes in and says flat out, I want to buy X, Y, and Z. The other thing that's kind of lurking out there in the waters, and I was hearing about this earlier this week, is the Saudis are definitely eyeing American sports. Pretty much all sports. We know the Saudis are about to make a push for the Women's Pro Golf Association, and it's already been brought up that they are definitely even eyeing the potential to buy a future NFL team that would come up for sale. Now, how would those owners welcome that? And does the NFL at the end of the day doesn't even need the Saudi investment fund? Because if you think about it, because of how shared revenue works in the NFL, between having half of your revenue go to all the player contracts and then half of your revenue going towards ownership, that would mean that in today's 2023 NFL, that every team is pulling in $500 million just on all TV media rights alone every season. So you take $500 million times 32. That means the NFL has $16 billion circulating for every team, just for the teams alone. So it's kind of interesting, and that's kind of the style that the WNBA is going to have to start being heads up on, is these billionaires that are coming. If it is like, how much are you willing to sell for possibly a Saudi investment fund? And plus, we know they definitely are going to be looking at soccer teams as well. So it gets pretty interesting to see how, in this time and age, how is ownership going to like really help the WNBA grow, and where's that money coming from?
So like the problem with like the Saudi investment is like, I don't think they'd invest in WNBA because it doesn't make money. Like that's why the WNBA kind of has to piggyback off of the NBA. Like that's why they use NBA TV and ESPN. And like what they should do is they should take after the model of the big three. and like Ice Cube and how his like league is kind of exploded in the handful of cities that they go to. Like I guess their championship's
Okay.
going to be in Europe this year, and it's like
Oh
they
wow.
teamed up with CBS and like took off. And like I mean, people might not pay that much attention to it, but they're getting bigger, like slowly but surely.
Okay. Yeah, I remember seeing some games on right around the time that COVID hit, and then
Yep.
pretty much after that, I haven't seen the games since.
Oh, they're playing right now.
Oh, okay, then. All right. So are they on CBS Network or
Yep.
something like that?
They're
Ah,
let's see. They're I'm gonna check it out right now. When's the next game?
okay.
But I know their championship is going to be in the UK, I believe.
Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's good stuff.
Yeah, they're like I said, they're growing. I think they've been around for like 6 years.
Yeah, that's about right. Yep. Yep. I know too the NBA. I believe they're playing an actual game. I'm not sure if it's preseason or regular season, but I know there's a game being played in Brazil this year between Chicago and Miami. So
Nice.
you definitely have stuff like that that's going internationally, making money. And yeah, I don't know about the NBA really kind of growing internationally yet, outside of the draw that it just naturally has. But we know the NFL is definitely eyeing expansion in Europe, so it's coming.
Yeah, we're in week 5 of the Big 3. It ends in August, so it goes from June to August. It's 10 weeks.
Okay, gotcha. Is there anyone notable playing in that league these days?
Oh, there's a ton of dudes playing it. All right, I'm just gonna pick up the best team, right? So it's called the Killer
Okay.
Threes.
Okay.
They are their head coach is Charles Oakley. Um, they have Josh
Okay.
Powell as a co-captain. I don't know if you'll know who that guy is, but um, duh, duh, duh. George Gervin's a coach of a team.
Okay.
Catino Mobley, do you remember him from the Rockets?
Sort of.
Oh man, Catino Mobley was the man. He was like a 20-point scorer.
I know. I know, but you're more basketball savantish than I am.
All right, let me see if I can
I
find
got that
some.
for the
Oh,
NFL.
okay. Joe Johnson.
Nope.
Joe Johnson for Atlanta Hawks? ISO Joe?
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, okay. Never mind. Now
Larry
that,
Sanders.
was that when Budenholzer was? Oh, okay.
Yes. Larry Sanders.
Yes. Yep. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
He and Larry Sanders are on the same team. They're coached by Lisa Leslie, WNBA legend.
Nice. Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
I'm just running down
Good stuff.
the list here.
Okay.
Steven Jackson has a team.
Oh yeah. No, he was a great player. I always loved seeing that guy play for the Pacers, and yeah, he was playing for a few other teams towards the end of his career. But man, the intensity that Steven Jackson plays with is awesome.
Okay, Gerald Green, dunk contest. No.
Okay. Yeah.
Corey Brewer, longtime like journeyman in the NBA.
Okay.
Ryan Hollins. Whew. He was on ESPN for a while.
Ryan Hollins. Yeah. Yeah. No, that guy is actually a really good broadcaster.
He's
I'm
known
not sure
for
if
his
he's
terrible takes.
Okay, that could be true. That could be true. But man, he kind of had that Reggie Miller-esque kind of personality about him. I like the guy.
Yeah. Trying to figure out another couple player. Nick Young.
Nick Young. Not too sure about that.
He was a Laker.
Not too sure.
Gilbert Arenas is the coach. Gary Payton's the coach.
Oh, wow.
Leandro Barbosa. I know you'll know that name.
No. No,
No?
I do not remember Barbosa. No.
He's the
Was he part of, like,
Brazilian
is he a
Blur.
Spanish player?
Oh, man.
Oh, Brazilian Blur. Okay. Okay. All right.
Their coach is Rick Barry.
Oh, wow. That's a
We've only
legend.
got 3 more teams.
Okay.
Jason Richardson.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he was on. I mean, shoot, he's been covering NBA Summer League, and yeah, I mean, everything he was with the Spurs and played a little bit with the Nets. Yeah, absolutely.
Jason Richardson? Is that who you're talking about?
Or wait, no, never mind. I'm mixing him up with Richard Jefferson. My
Yeah,
bad.
okay.
Swap.
Jason
Yeah,
Richardson,
swapping the
dunk
initials.
contest man.
Okay.
His coach is Dr. J.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Mario Chalmers from the Heat.
Yep. Yeah, he was a
Okay.
good shooter.
Michael Beasley.
Oh, absolutely. Actually, he played for the Bucks for a little bit, right?
He did.
Kansas
Yes.
State. Funny story. I actually drove him.
Oh,
I was actually back in the day when I was a limousine driver. When he first got acquired by the Milwaukee Bucks, I was the limousine driver to pick him up at O'Hare.
nice.
So
Um,
yeah. No, he was a
Tony
great
Allen,
guy.
hard-nosed Memphis player.
Oh yeah, yep. I got you.
Their coach is Michael Cooper.
Okay, not too sure who that is.
Rashard Lewis. Do you know that guy? Orlando
Not
Magic.
okay. Maybe.
Oh,
Yeah.
I actually don't know who their coach is. Reggie Theus. I've never heard of that one.
Okay. Huh. Good deal.
Then they have like a Serbian team, coached
okay.
by Rick Mahorn,
Hmm.
and they have not won a game, so they're pretty terrible.
Gotcha.
Don't tell anyone though.
Okay.
But I'm telling you, there's some players out there.
I believe it.
And they even have a draft. They have their own combine and draft.
That's cool. So is it a fresh team every single season, or can the returning teams keep the players they had from the previous year?
I think they keep some of the players, and then they can like release certain guys.
Okay. Cool.
Because like you're not going to drop Rashard Lewis or Katino Mobley or like guys like that.
Right. For sure. Yeah, that's cool. Good stuff.
Look at that. We're all over the place today.
We are definitely all over the place today. Little technical glitches. I'm definitely running a little bit low on battery juice. But I still got 18% remaining. Oh yeah, we're making it. Yeah, we're good. Yep. So, but yeah, definitely want to talk. I think tomorrow we'll have all our ducks in a row, and we'll be ready. But definitely got some cool football stuff to knock out tomorrow. I'm thinking. So yeah, got some stuff that's going on between some free agency stuff. Pretty interesting between the 9 teams that you and I thought DeAndre Hopkins was going to. He didn't go to any of our 9 teams.
Nope. But my picks, my 5 teams that I picked were not DeAndre Hopkins teams. It were teams that he and Cook could go together.
So did I. Absolutely.
So we didn't actually like miss. We were just saying, hey, because I don't think Dalvin Cook's going to go to Tennessee. There's no way.
No, I mean, basically they're going to look at him and say that he's basically the placement of Dontrell Hilliard, but that's Sharp. Tajay Sharp has that role. And Tajay Sharp, from what we've heard, has been doing really well in all of their practices. their spring training camp that they've done as well. That role belongs to Tajay Sharp. At this point, they're going to move forward with him and not Dalvin Cook. But it is very disappointing.
Right.
Like Tennessee is by far the worst quarterbacked team in the entire NFL. Like the entire NFL.
Yeah.
I just don't think there's a quarterback worse than Ryan Tannehill. And even if they do panic and then they start changing quarterbacks, well, it's either going to be Malik Willis, who's really had a really rough start to his career, or it's going to be Will Levis out of Kentucky. And Levis can throw a hot pepper, but he is going to be accurate. And man, I don't know. Like last year, I had a good feeling with DeAndre Hopkins on Arizona, even with a suspension, knowing that offense will still cook no matter what. Oh, I'm losing you, Triggs. I got a chair. All right, he's back. Yes, there we go.
No, I just wanted to look at my phone.
Gotcha.
All I did was leave.
But
I just leave.
Okay. That's cool. But I think DeAndre Hopkins is leaning himself out of the NFL now. I have no care in the world to draft that guy in fantasy. I think he's completely irrelevant at this point now in his career. I'm trying to figure out like a comparison of a guy who is on a team for like his career and just travels team to team to team and is a really good receiver, but really has nothing to show for it. I don't know, maybe like a Michael Crabtree kind of thing. Yeah, it's like I was kind of almost thinking almost like Anquan Bolden in a way.
That's but what like I was gonna say.
Bolden, yes, and I love the guy, and I know right now there's a push for him to get into the Hall of Fame, and he deserves it. I mean, he's way up there on receptions. He's like 8th. I think T.O. is like 6 or something. And the fact is they both played together. And those Jeff Garcia 49er teams were like terrifying. I mean, the way people are talking about Minnesota right now, that was Jeff Garcia and the 49ers back then. They were just awesome top to bottom. So I think Anquan Bolden absolutely should be in the Hall of Fame. But the guy did, I mean, he got close with San Francisco, but then he bounced from there to Detroit to Baltimore. He was in Arizona when they weren't good. I think he was in Buffalo when they weren't good. I don't know if he ended up being on the John Harbaugh Ravens that beat Jim Harbaugh's Niners. But that could have happened. Yeah, we should definitely look that up. But that's the one guy who I really think of when I think of a guy who's an excellent wide receiver who just went from team to team to team and just played for a whole bunch of bad football teams. That is exactly what DeAndre Hopkins' legacy is going to be, unfortunately. And man, it's a heck of a player. I mean, I still stick by my guns by my first team that I recommended that he should go to in Philadelphia on my video. I think DeAndre Hopkins in Philadelphia, that would be pretty much a monstrous slam dunk to at least get to the Super Bowl, barring any devastating injuries to Jalen Hurts. I'm just very disappointed. Yeah.
Anquan Bolden, Arizona, Baltimore, San Francisco, Detroit.
Oh, he didn't go to Buffalo. Okay.
Nope, it was Detroit.
So did he? Okay, gotcha. So did he end up winning a Super Bowl technically with Baltimore?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't remember what year exactly Baltimore won the Super Bowl.
They won them in the early 2000s. I want to say
he was there 2010 to 2012.
Okay. I think that was when Baltimore won the second Super Bowl with Ray Lewis. I'm not sure if that was.
He does have a Super Bowl championship. Yes.
Oh, okay. So it is with Baltimore. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Um,
Perfect.
but
Perfect.
the reason
Good
why
deal.
I did not think he was going to Philadelphia was just money. And if you notice, like the dude went and got like a stacked, like I wrote it
Yeah.
down, but like he literally got what 14 million, and then it could go up to
A
like
year.
16 or something like that.
That's crazy. And for a team like Tennessee, which is like let's call it what it is. At this point, they're a bad football team. They have
Yeah.
good offensive line. They can run block. They can pass block with the best of them. But the whole rest of their offense is bad. Your tight end is bad. Your quarterback is bad. All of your receivers, for DeAndre Hopkins, are bad. Derrick Henry is definitely getting towards the end of his career. I mean, look at what's going on to the running backs now. If Derrick Henry were one of these running backs that's out there in free agency that doesn't have a team, he would more than likely still not have a team for quite a while. And unfortunately, I think that's going to happen to him next year. I mean, they're running that guy into the ground, and running him the way they did in that playoff game with coming off a broken foot. It's going to be the end of his career. So you're right. I mean, it was 14 million, but when I did my analysis of where Cook and Hopkins could go, Tennessee didn't even qualify. So Tennessee has less than 13 million available in cap space, yet they still managed to sign DeAndre Hopkins. So
Yeah.
where is that money coming from, and who is going to have to get released? Because as of right now,
He,
like that offer could be valid, but they can't sign him because they don't have the money to do it yet.
so he got 12, and it could go to 15 in incentives. And uh, Randy Moss did not get a ring. Just looking at our chat. But yeah,
Really?
uh, what the funniest thing that I've seen about this whole deal. So, uh, the Titans receiving core ranked 30th in the NFL.
I can't think of two
Now,
teams
here's
that
a
are
fun story.
below.
Oh,
Huh.
I didn't even care to look. I was just like, wow,
Sure.
they're that
Yep.
bad. Now,
They are.
this one I actually got I stole from another source of
Okay.
people.
Okay.
Uh so career touchdown receptions on the Titans roster right now. DeAndre Hopkins 72. Would you like to guess who is number 2 on the list? He is quite known in Tennessee. Career touchdowns. Oh, metrics, I think you froze there. Oh no, did I lose metrics again? Yep, yep, definitely lost him. Weird. Well, I will hit you all with the knowledge. Mike Vrabel, the coach, has the second most touchdowns on the roster. He has 12 receptions, and all 12 of them were touchdowns. Then, of course, you got Chris Moore uh, and Traylon Burks, but those guys are literally brand new, so there's not much you can do about that. Yeah. Six wide receivers last year. There were only 6 touchdowns, I should say, from wide receivers last year for Tennessee. And I mean, there's really nothing that you can do about it. But like there's so many places, like Metric was saying, there's so many places that DeAndre Hopkins can go. Um, I mean, we did videos on it for he and Dalvin Cook on YouTube at No Debate Sports, obviously. And you can tell he just went for the money. And the big key on that is there's no tax in Tennessee. So he's getting all of the money coming straight to him. Yeah. Randy Moss, yeah. Randy Moss definitely could have gotten himself a Super Bowl team or Super Bowl trophy with that 15-1 Patriots team. Yeah, I'm just gonna look up Randy Moss here. Yeah, he even played with Tennessee at a certain point. Minnesota, Oakland, New England, and Tennessee. He's only got 6 receptions with Tennessee. Oddly enough, we're talking about Tennessee with DeAndre Hopkins, and I mean,
And
metrics.
boom,
You missed
I'm
out
back.
on the trivia. The
Oh,
the second most touchdowns on the Titans right now is Mike Vrabel.
wow. Yeah,
Yep.
it's bad. I mean, that team is bad. Um, and this is another thing too. Like that division now only has one true team that is truly a threat, and I think the second best team that's going to start rising in the near future is probably going to be Houston. I
Yeah.
think Indianapolis can do it, but I think Indianapolis has more work to do as a team than the Texans do. I think the Texans are really starting to figure it out on offense, and then they are going to really start building that 49ers prototype on defense, especially having a highly defensive oriented head coach. So I think Indianapolis is just very choppy across the board between offense, offensive line, and your entire defense. I think the Colts are really in a rebuild, and I think Tennessee is just really starting to work their way backwards.
Yeah.
And doing big
Most of those
contracts like
weapons
this.
are old in
Yeah,
Tennessee.
they are. They are. It's they held. I think when it, I don't know. It really feels like they swung and missed on both Derrick Henry and Ryan Tannehill. The fact that they chose to pay Tannehill and franchise tag Derrick Henry, and Derrick Henry's making good money. I do want to say he's making like was it like 12? Was it 12 or 13 million, something like that? He's up there. I know
Yeah.
the last time that the franchise tag went around for running backs, they basically said, okay, cool, yeah, we will pay up for you because you're flat out worth it. And he was like the only one. There wasn't this three-headed monster of Tony Pollard, Josh Jacobs, and Saquon Barkley out there where you could pretty much get whatever running back you wanted. Back then, it was like just Derrick Henry. So I don't know. I think they maybe should have gone longer on Henry and put the franchise tag on Tannehill instead. I mean, it's
He's
all trying to.
actually Henry's the third in running backs. I actually have this stat because I wrote it down.
Yeah.
He's third in guaranteed money for running backs at 25.5 behind Christian McCaffrey and Alvin Kamara.
Wait, they're getting paid what, 25.5 million a year?
No, guaranteed money in his contract.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's pretty much up there. I mean, all three of those guys definitely deserve to sign up and get more additional years added on. And at the time that they signed, they were all pretty much the top 3 running backs in the NFL and showed no signs of slowing down whatsoever. So,
You want to know something
yeah,
silly though? The
sure.
right behind right behind Derrick Henry, the fourth most guaranteed money is Bijan Robinson. Isn't that
That's
nuts?
pretty insane. Yeah. That's
Insane.
insane, but also in a good way. It's good to see that the running backs are getting paid more straight out of the gate. But even then, like it should just be as a whole, like if you're a running back drafted in the top 4 or 5 rounds, I'd say maybe top 4 rounds instead of 5. But man, top 4 rounds running backs should definitely be getting paid really good money, considering if their shelf life is only about 4 or 5 years, and then they start throwing the franchise tag on you, and there's not much to do after that. It's pretty rough.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's and to be honest, that brings up a good point you say with Bijan Robinson. I know we're running a little bit longer than we do, but we definitely had some technical difficulties today. But I can tell you this, like, it feels like in the first round of guys being selected for fantasy, I don't know if you've seen this, but it feels like there's definitely like question marks across almost all of them. Like there's some caveat of like concern for every single player in the first round. And I don't remember having this feeling in recent years. Like maybe I felt it a little bit last year, but I mean, I still had a good feeling about Joe Mixon. And even if I had to abandon that plan, still go with Travis Kelce in the back end of the first round. But it just feels like every single player that's being somewhat targeted in the first round has a concern. And let me show this to you. I want to see if I can bring up a shared screen here and pull up what I'm talking about. Here we go. Okay, we got this, and all right, gonna pull to Excel and see what's going here. Okay, almost there. All right, cool. So, yeah. So I got this, and actually, let's go to. Let me get out here. All right. So if we go to what I just pulled up of the top players being selected, you can definitely see like round one for like the top 10 players, maybe outside Patrick Mahomes because he's a quarterback. It's like every single player has a concern. Justin Jefferson, very like it's ironic too because Jefferson, Chase are all really chat players. They'll have games where they go lights out and then games where they'll go lights off. And both of them play on teams where they pretty much have three very, very strong receivers now. So you got that concern there. Christian McCaffrey, his health, is he going to make it? Is he not? But he's an excellent pass catcher out of the backfield. You got that stuff. Travis Kelce, we'll come back to him, but I got good feelings about Travis Kelce. Cooper Kupp, another one coming off an injury. Austin Eckler. Austin Eckler to me felt like one of those guys that feels safe and kind of to me has that feeling of how I felt about Joe Mixon and the Bengals offense. Like if that offensive passing game is so stacked, then that opens up the opportunity for the run game. Like even Josh Jacobs did that last year with the Raiders. I feel like now Austin Eckler has that capability, but I've been seeing stuff with Eckler possibly getting the addition of Ezekiel Elliott. So that's kind of where my concern is of what's going on with the Chargers is if you had a draft today and you drafted Austin Eckler and then tomorrow they sign Ezekiel Elliott, your first round overall pick, you are really not feeling good about that because they go to the goal line and Eckler is great at the goal line, but yeah, you could definitely get some shares taken away from you by Ezekiel Elliott. So Are there any guys on that list that you're seeing that you're like, ugh, I like that guy, but I still have my concerns with him way up top?
I just noticed there was a lot of quarterbacks in the first two rounds.
Yes, and
there were a lot of quarterbacks in the first two rounds, and that kind of threw me off.
Yeah, and that to me is kind of building off of a trend that I saw last year, and it was why I was so bullish on Jalen Hurts. It's because pretty much like now, there's basically a just over about a handful of quarterbacks who are like all top notch. Like they're going to get you almost 30 points a week. But the thing is, after those guys, I think it's a massive, massive drop off. It's a drop off where like, yeah, you could get some good games, but I mean, unless you're playing best ball and you have Jared Goff or Kirk Cousins, you're going to roll the dice on every single other quarterback that's out there. You don't have the confidence going week in, week out with the rest of the bunch that you can get 20 to 30 points easily. It's all about consistency. Like, can you hit those home runs consistently? Are you a Julio Rodriguez or are you going to be a Vladimir Guerrero Jr.? You want the Vlad Guerrero Juniors of the NFL who can just keep hitting home runs week in, week out. And like, man, if you're starting to get to the point where it's like the Jared Goffs, the Kirk Cousins, and the Deshaun Watsons, and you didn't snag one of those earlier higher end quarterbacks, you're going to be you're going to have a difficult fantasy year for sure. I just think the quarterback position is so valued and such a high scoring position. It shows. Like, they score the most points out of any position in fantasy. Even though they all can have the ability to do it, they consistently score towards 30 more than anyone else. So if you don't have one of those higher quarterbacks, it's rough. It is really, really rough. So that's why they're going even earlier than they do in previous years, because there's so many of them, and the drop off is so severe after the top crop of high end quarterbacks. I think that's why they're going earlier more now than ever. And I started to see it last year between Mahomes, Hurts, and Justin Herbert. And Herbert's even one of those guys who's kind of, you think he's really good, but considering what he went through last year, I mean, he broke some ribs, so that's going to screw with how you play football for sure. But even that's a guy that people are kind of unsure about. And we're not even talking Dak Prescott and Derek Carr. Like, they do not qualify. Those are not elite bona fide quarterbacks at all. So that's the kind of weird thing that we're seeing there from those guys.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, with fantasy, it's not about who's the best quarterback in like actual football. It's fantasy football.
It is. Like, I don't know. I mean, I do feel that when we bring it back to like performance and consistency and our bona fide number metric, I do feel though that really does tell you the tale of who really is the best quarterback and who's kind of not there as much. I mean, even in the games that Jalen Hurts missed, I still feel at the end of the day, and we saw this in the Super Bowl, I feel that Jalen Hurts flat out is a better quarterback than Patrick Mahomes, because he carried Philadelphia's offense on his back. The offense of Kansas City, even though those receivers are not all that great, that offense, no matter what, revolves around Andy Reid. The way he play calls that offense, the way he builds the tools, that is just a full-blown complete team. You take Jalen Hurts out of the Philadelphia offense, and we saw what it looked like with Gardner Minshew. It was rough, really rough. But the plays, the arm caliber that Hurts has, the ability to run the football, I'm incredibly impressed with him. To me, it's that quick that Tom Brady, and even going all the way back to Drew Bledsoe, both Bledsoe and Brady just had like this crazy quick fire release. And you see that out of him. And even another guy I'll put ahead of Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen. Josh Allen is like still outperformed Mahomes, and also had like injuries between his shoulders, his thumb, had a little bit of Tommy John going on in his elbow. Even that stuff was just better. I don't know. I feel like, yes, you take away Tyreek Hill and someone's going to step up and you're going to change that offense of Kansas City. But I feel like even more importantly, if Travis Kelce is not in that offense, I think we're going to see something that isn't as great out of Patrick Mahomes. I mean, I put Mahomes easily up there in the elite bona fide category with those high-end quarterbacks that you have to grab immediately at the start of your draft. But to me, it does feel like if Kelce goes down and Noah Gray comes in his place and cannot execute at the level that Travis Kelce plays at, I don't know what we're going to see out of Patrick Mahomes. To be honest, I think we're going to see kind of what he is and how defenses play against him. We know that if you play against Mahomes, put more guys in coverage, and he's going to have trouble with it. Now, the thing that bends that strategy and breaks it is Travis Kelce. So that's where it's at, and that's where I would even have my concerns with Patrick Mahomes. I'll take one of the other guys. I'll take a Josh Allen, a Jalen Hurts, and even a guy who I put in the elite category now. Even though he doesn't rank up there in terms of ADP, he's going around like the 50-ish number. I think Justin Fields is now that guy to really step up and is an elite level quarterback. I think he's definitely the best quarterback in the NFC North. We're going to see that.
Yeah, but I mean, with that, those are all of the guys that you're naming have multiple weapons. So it's, I guess, with Patrick Mahomes, yeah, if Kelce goes down, then yeah, he might be SOL. But that goes with basically any quarterback in the league. Like Kirk Cousins is going to be horrible if Justin Jefferson goes down.
I don't think so. I mean, like even when he was in Washington, I mean,
he was solid, but he's not going to be putting up the numbers.
True, but also last season was the real true first season of Justin Jefferson as a true number one receiver. Before that, in Jefferson's rookie year, it was Adam Thielen was the number one receiver for that, and then Thielen's performances started to scale off. I think Kirk Cousins' biggest setback is himself. For whatever reason, if he can't get out of his own ways going through a football game, very similarly to Derek Carr, I think that is his biggest drawback. I think the weapons that he has in Minnesota, if Jefferson goes down, fine. They got KJ Osborne, they got Jordan Addison. They'd have to figure out that third receiver, but man, shoot, they got TJ Hawkinson. And they have some really nice running backs that are kind of taking place of Dalvin Cook. So that team will figure it out. I have, at the end of the day, I just have more concern with Kirk Cousins than the rest of that Minnesota Viking offense.
If Justin Jefferson goes down, Minnesota's going to be garbage. Absolutely. They're going to be garbage anyway. Their defense is horrible. Like, no, I can't agree with Justin Jefferson not being the centerpiece of their offense. But, like, we're talking about just about any quarterback in the league. Like, I mean, look at Aaron Rodgers without Devontae Adams. He kind of fell off a little bit. Like
he did, but I mean, still, Christian Watson was pretty darn good last season.
For half the season, yeah.
Exactly. And to me, it just seemed like there was more there was more bad play out of Aaron Rodgers than there was other pieces of that offense. I mean, we can pull that up right now and flat out see that between Romeo Doubs, Christian Watson, Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon, I want to say Robert Tonyan, but I don't even think Robert Tonyan qualified because he missed so many games last season.
He was trash last year.
Exactly. And even Alan Lazard. So, yeah, we can say all five of those players on offense were better and more valuable and more bona fide than Aaron Rodgers was last season.
Yeah, I mean, we're picking one season. I'm talking about when Devontae Adams was there. When Devontae Adams would not play, like the team would fall off. My bringing that up, I'm saying like if Kelce gets injured, of course Patrick Mahomes is going to fall off. Like, and I don't even think he'll fall that low because he's that elite. But like, if Josh Allen loses Stephon Diggs, he's horrible. I mean, Joe Burrow's kind of the exception because he has literally a handful of number one guys.
Yes.
But like most of those top, I mean, even Jalen Hurts as a quarterback, he wasn't elite until he got AJ Brown like added to what he already had.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, there's no like top-notch wide receiver in the league like that doesn't need their quarterback, and there's no top quarterback that doesn't need their wide receiver. It's just kind of the way it goes now.
Yeah, yeah, they definitely go hand in hand. That's for sure. And I think the best thing that Mahomes has is Andy Reid. I mean, the way Andy Reid runs his offense, it's the best offenses in our lifetimes. So it's pretty impressive what they do there in Kansas City. I think that's the real secret sauce in what is going to keep that offense always at the top of the league. Um, yeah, I mean, it's even shocking to this day that the Philadelphia Eagles fired Andy Reid. It's pretty bizarre.
Yeah, I mean, to a certain extent, they did win a Super Bowl without him, so they
They did.
can't really frown on him.
They did. They definitely won that Super Bowl without him. But didn't they win the Super Bowl? Was that after Patrick Mahomes' first one, or was it before? I think they won their Super Bowl. What, that would have been about 4 years ago, something like that. The Nick
I
Foles
think
one,
so,
I think
something like
it's
that.
something like that. Yeah, yeah, something like that. So
Yeah,
they won it at about the same time. The main thing that I remember from back then was that when Andy Reid got fired, he pretty much shortly got hired by Kansas City, and then right out of the gate, Andy Reid won like 10 straight games. I don't know if it was the same season or he just went 10-0 to start a season, but man, he figured it out quick. So like
hmm
that's where I felt like, hey, you probably had that weird negative energy between him and McNabb, and kind of how the city felt towards McNabb. I think that kind of carried over onto Reid. But man, Andy Reid runs a good offense, and even going all the way back to when Travis Kelce was drafted from Cincinnati to the Kansas City Chiefs, I just always had that feeling like, you know what, this team's been really trying to find that replacement for Tony Gonzalez. Now they have it, and Travis Kelce might end up having a better career than Tony Gonzalez. So I really like what Kansas City does, and to me, when we look at that ADP list, that's why I feel most confident in taking Travis Kelce number one overall, because you know how that offense works. I mean, if he goes down, he goes down. But still, you're going to have games where he's going to have 20 plus points on any given Sunday. And even if he were to have half of his bona fide level that he had last year, it would be from a 4.8 to like a 2.4 or whatever, which would still be absurdly insane for a tight end. So just getting that value and definitely getting other tight ends is worthwhile. But I just think you're going to have a more consistent, stronger roster, knowing what you'll get out of Travis Kelce. But the thing is, like, still at the top, I mean, you know the Vikings are going to hang a ton of points. You know the Bengals are going to hang a ton of points as well. You just have to be ready for those games where it's kind of hit and miss. I would think too, if you get maybe a Jefferson or a Jamar Chase, that maybe even you team that up with a KJ Osborne or a Jordan Addison, or if you're Jamar Chase, then you should really be eyeing like T Higgins like ASAP, because if one of those guys goes off and the other doesn't, at least you kind of have that coverage, and you secure yourself with your team, because you're going to have guys that hit home runs and you're going to have guys that hit duds, just absolute duds. So if you kind of know you can cover both ends of an offense, that's pretty valuable.
yeah, yeah. I mean, Kelsey's always been my like first round pick as long as I could get him, just because his gap between him and the next like five tight ends is just ridiculous
It
compared
is.
to the gap between running backs or wide receivers. It's almost as bad as like the gap between the first quarterback and like the 10th quarterback.
Yeah, yeah, it's right up there. I mean, that difference from 1 to 2 at tight end, and the difference to 1 to 10 for quarterbacks is just insane. So I don't know. I mean, I still get this feeling that this season, if you had either Kelsey, Hawkinson, or Kittle, you're gonna be in a really good spot. The one that I'm very questionable about is Mark Andrews. When it comes to Lamar Jackson, I still don't get that offense, and I stayed clear of all Ravens players last year, and it was the right call. And I had the opportunity to go Mark Andrews over Travis Kelce, and I did not. I just see there being more consistency with Kelsey than there clearly is with Mark Andrews. The Ravens offense to me is just it's different. And now you have a totally different offensive coordinator. I just don't know what I'm going to get out of that team.
Well, I mean, he was solid when Lamar Jackson was starting.
Sure.
And then once Huntley came in, he didn't throw the ball at Andrews at all.
Oof.
Like he was just throwing it to like wide receiver number 17 on the roster. And now they have Odell Beckham, so you know they're going to probably load him up a bunch. So yeah, Andrews is a little weird.
Yeah, and the thing is too, I mean, Odell, I'm not sure. So I think he will be technically a wideout this season instead of kind of being a slot receiver. But Odell can run the middle of the field with the best of him. His route running ability is excellent. He's incredibly good in that middle of the field. So he's definitely going to be competing with Mark Andrews for that space running upfield. It's going to be interesting, kind of how they do things. But I'm going to have to see it. Like when it comes to fantasy, I think there are teams out there that you would rather play against and possibly not have things go your way than possibly play with those players and see those players not go your way multiple times in a season. So to me, the Ravens are one of those teams I'm like, yep, I'm going to stay clear of you. Like the New England Patriots, Carolina Panthers, you might have some things going on for you as a football team that are good, but when it comes to your offense, I just don't want any part of those offenses. I think there's way more higher octane offenses that those are the players that I want to attack with, and they're the ones I want to go into battle with any single Sunday.
So, that makes sense. Hey,
yeah,
I think we're getting a little long. Should we wrap it up and bring a bunch of fantasy football talk for tomorrow?
Oh, I think so, Triggs. I think we've definitely covered our time from me having technical difficulties. I think we're in a pretty good spot.
Sweet.
Cool. All right. We'll definitely want to thank everyone again for joining us, giving us some comments on our feed, on our live feed. And I think we'll see you guys tomorrow, same time, 7:00. We'll do our best to definitely be technical difficulty free, and we'll see you tomorrow at 7:00. So I'm Steve M3TR1CS. Yes.
It's your boy, DJTRIGGS.
And I'm Steve M3TR1CS. And together we're No Debate Sports. And that's No Debates.
No debate.
Yes, sir.